Hey everybody, I'm Crow. Welcome back to Dark Souls 2, Scholar of the First Sin. This is King Vendrick, the last boss outside of the last room with the rest of the bosses in the normal base game that we still haven't fought. And basically his whole shtick is he takes half damage 5 times over. So if you hit him for 100, it would get halved to 50, which would get halved to 25, which would get halved and probably rounded down to 12, which would get halved to 6, which would get halved to 3. For every one of these giant souls you have, it removes one of those cuts. So if you had 1, it would be 6 instead of 3. 2 would be 12. If you had 3, then you would hit him for 25. If you had 4, which most people get, you would do 50. And if you actually beat the Ancient Dragon and get the last one, which is the one people tend to not get, then you do full damage. It's just a damage reduction though, so if you think about it, in a way, it's kind of like just doubling his health each time. When you have all of them, he doesn't really have a terrible lot of health, but he does pack a wallop. He can definitely hurt us, and I don't remember if he can be poisoned. But once you do enough damage to him, he engages. And a lot of people don't even notice that you can hurt him because you have to do a certain amount of damage to get him to engage, and yeah, it's kind of hard to do that when your damage is cut in half 5 times. Nope. Yeah, okay. See what I mean with that, though? Very capable of killing me. Very capable. You gotta be careful. And his swings go all the way around his back. We need to get some distance. 1, 2. There we go. Typically, you want to stay close to him, because then he can swing over you. And also, I mean, you're probably melee. You're either a caster or a melee, basically, since bow runs aren't typically a thing. So for most builds, you're going to want to be near him anyway. I thought it was pretty funny with that Forbidden Sun spell. It's like some super ultimate one-use... Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was one-use. It was like a one-use pyromancy that does a ton of damage or whatever. Well, back whenever this was still new, I was watching I was over at my friend's house and I was watching him fight Vendrick. I think he was wearing the Cyan Knight armor and using some kind of greatsword. Not an ultra greatsword, just like a regular greatsword. I don't know what kind it was. But he was having a hard time because Vendrick can break through tower shields in like 1 or 2 hits, so you're not even terribly safe with the tower shield. And with heavier armor, it's harder for you to roll out of the way of his attacks. So he was going through all the motions of trying to find out how he could fight Vendrick or whatever, get more damage out. And he was going through his pyromancies and stuff, and he was like, alright, I'll use the Forbidden Sun or whatever, that's how I'm gonna get him. Let's see how much damage this does. And he was just testing it out. And he threw the Forbidden Sun, and this massive ball of fire comes out, and it starts going towards Vendrick. And then Vendrick, like, Vendrick, like, sleepily, like a zombie, just kind of walks out of the way. And it's like, you just see this massive fireball going off into the distance, and it hits a wall. And I was like, oh my god. I don't know, I like, died laughing. It's like, he comes in, and he only has 1 cast of this spell. Aw, you need to quit hitting me. And to just see it whiff like that... I don't know, when I'm around my friends, I laugh like crazy. I'm gonna eventually die if you don't stop hitting me. We're pretty much out of Estus. I should try and poison you, huh? I don't like using my right bumper because I have to click it 2 to 3 times to get it to work once. You know, I should probably use Ancient Dragon logic and not fire 4 times, and only fire 3 times. Vendrick, why would you be immune to poison? I'm going to assume you're just really resilient. No? Well, that's random. He has a delayed attack, so on that overhead it can catch you. That's why it's usually better to just go back and try and dodge these ones. does not appear Vendrick can be poisoned. Or if he does, or if he can be, rather. I just didn't shoot enough arrows into him. It'll be fine. I'm sure we'll just use the regular ones. If not, I have an enormous amount of life gems. They're cheap, crappy life gems, but 99 of them tend to do the job. It would just mean lots of dodging. Which, if he keeps doing this, it's not the end of the world. This is pretty much exactly the same thing for casters, mind you. The only difference is that casters do a hell of a lot more damage. I definitely feel like if you were just a sorcerer or something, it would be stronger than this, but, I mean, I really like bows. Not just in Dark Souls, but just bows as a... basically as a weapon in general. I like doing the rangery type things. And I never actually tried it in Dark Souls 1, originally. I mean, I eventually beat the game in a bow-only run. Could you attack so I can heal? I don't feel safe. Or I could just kill you. Oh, as it was coming down to end me, we shot him midair. 128,000. Which is cool, because we still had a little bit of Estus left over. Anyway, that was Vendrick, and this is Vendrick's armor. And with the DLC, we can actually go into here too. Oh my god, do I not want to do the Poison DLC. That's awful. I mean, I don't want to do Lead and Zalin even more, but the Poison DLC... eesh. Everything's immune to poison, would you believe it?
Seeker of fire, coveter of the throne. I am Vendrick, ruler of Drang Lake.
You can tell he's a king because he can take us seriously.
As flame rises, so does it fade. Such is the way of things. Do you intend to link the fire? Then you must first take the throne. Prove your worth. Find the ancient crowns. Seek adversity, and they will be yours. And your wishes granted.
Nah, honestly, I've always kind of preferred that whole dark ending. Because me dying to prolong the inevitable seems kind of stupid when we could just fight, like, let's fight the inevitable, you know? If it's gonna happen eventually, then let's just do what we can.
And your wishes granted. And your wishes granted.
So, basically, we just get to talk to Vendrick, originally, this first time, and then every time we beat one of the kings in the DLCs, we can come back and talk to him, and he'll have more things to say. The Ashen Mist fades, and I think that was Velstad over there because this was the past. The king went crazy and we killed Velstad, so that's not really happening over there. With the Belfry Gargoyles and Vendrick dead, that now means that all of the other bosses are gone, as I've said before. So we can go back to Majula, because we're going to get the DLC keys now, the two that we're missing. The first one is Down the Well, which I thought you had to beat Vendrick for originally, but after watching ENB do his current Dark Souls 2 playthrough, because he's never played, Epic Name Bro's never played Scholar of the First Sin, so he's streaming it on Twitch now. And I watched the videos of it, like the VOD things that he puts up on YouTube. And it was reminded to me in the comments, not this one, that the Forgotten Key from the two giants is actually what you need to get this door open. So, dropping down that ladder, and coming here with a Forgotten Key that you get from Black Gulch, you can open this door, which you should probably be able to tell because the door looks like all the other doors. Liar! I don't think any of these are mimics. The only real difference in that room is that body over there. Great lightning spear, which is always nice. The Witch Tree branch and the Witch Tree Bellvine, which is a chime, and a Sorcerer's Catalyst. And Soul Vortex, one of the most powerful sorceries. The Dragon Talon is the key to the Poison DLC. Rhymes. Anyway, we feather back. And from here we go to an area that I kind of wanted to go to earlier in the game, but didn't really need to. Or rather, that we could have. Actually, you know what? There's an even faster way to get there. Let's go to the place unbeknownst, which has been... It's New Game plus 17. Or plus 16? Yeah, it's just New Game plus 16, because that's how many times we've killed them. I've done a lot more farming than that before. I've gotten a lot of stats to 60 before in my other games. But... I stopped a little early. I love that you don't need the King's Ring to keep opening these. Having to switch that and put them on was just a nuisance. I don't know how you don't hear me. Oh, that didn't work. Ah, he's actually... Oh, he probably levels up with this. Nope, never mind. Okay. I don't want to fight the super buff knight. Did heal up? You guys still one-shot, right? Yep, they're still super weak. Anyway, you come over here, and you just walk off. And if you're wearing the cat ring, you really don't take much damage. So you drop down over here. That lizard over there can only shoot down into there, and this lizard can hit you. Please shoot poison arrows. 3, and then roll behind the... Oops. 4. Wow, our arrows do so much damage to these things. We don't even really need the poison too much anymore. Poison arrows are the way to kill them early, basically. They have a lot of health. 328 damage per shot. Poison typically does around 1,000 damage, I think. It just takes a while to get that damage done. But with that, those lizards are dead. The fire doesn't stop until all the lizards are gone. Fire Drake Stone, even if you put the fire out, you'd still die. Hawk Ring is the ring that increases your bow range, which I don't think I've ever actually had a reason to use. Cracked Red Eye Orbs. I don't think this was the shield. Flame Quartz Ring plus 1. I kind of wish I had that earlier then, actually. Oh well, I mean, we're going to be getting better ones anyway. There are lizards down here. 1, 2... Actually 2. 3, 4. And now that I'm using a button that actually works, you roll around the corner. Also dead. And there is, of course, one more. It's trying to whip me. That's 3 again, so 7, 8. Only 9 arrows to kill one of these things. Earlier in the game, it takes a lot more than 9. Anyway, that is the door that you could open to get through here the other way. The iron key from the old Iron Keep area opens that up. Cracked Red Eye Orb. So, over here, where that lizard was shooting fire at you on the way over to the Fire Longsword, is the Rebel's Great Shield and the Heavy Iron Key, which is the key to the Old Iron King DLC. Fireplace of Iron Keepiness. So the Poison Key we got earlier in the Well in Majula. The Iron Key we got here underneath the Forest of the Fallen Giants area. And the last key is, as I said before, in Drang Lake. You know what? Why don't I just go and show, for completeness' sake. It's not like it's 4 out of the way anyway, and that way I could just put the DLC keys and stuff in the title. So if anybody needs to know it, they can watch a needlessly long video on it. High encoding CPU usage. Why? I lowered the bitrate. Maybe it's because it's been going on for so long. I got distracted there. Or not really distracted, like I had to stop because people were being noisy. And this is already like a 40-something minute recording. Just because of that. But right over here, in there, on that body, is the key to the Frozen DLC. So, that's all 3 of them. Thank you guys very much for watching. Hope you liked it. Later, everybody.